Hey there, I love anything fall related, so I thought it would be a blast today to show you 5 of the most viral fall recipes right now. All of these recipes are absolutely out of this world, so get ready and let's go get to my kitchen and start cooking. We're starting today off with this pumpkin dump cake, so to this big bowl, I'm going to be adding in about 15 ounces of pumpkin puree. Make sure it is the 100% pumpkin puree, just, the pure pumpkin. Next, I'm adding in a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. After you're finished with that, go ahead and toss in about 3/4 cup of sugar, and then I love cinnamon, so I am adding in about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Lastly, you're going to add in 3 eggs, and then go ahead and beat this together super duper well. Now that we do have this well combined, I'm going to set it to the side, and I pulled out my 9x13 baking dish. I did line that baking dish with parchment paper and I sprayed it with nonstick spray, just for easy cleanup. I poured our yummy pumpkin mixture right in there, and over the top, you're going to sprinkle 1 box of yellow cake mix, or you could use spice cake mix, kind of whatever you prefer. Just pour it over the top, don't mix it, and then over the top of the cake mix, you're going to pour 1 cup of melted butter over everything. This will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 50 minutes. You do want to let this cool down completely before serving, but I served ours with a little bit of Cool Whip on top. You could also serve it with vanilla ice cream, that would be great, but this is phenomenal. You need to try this recipe. The top layer is like crispy and a little bit crumbly, and then that pumpkin layer is like silky. It is out of this world good. You really have to have some type of caramel apple in the fall, so now we're making these chocolate and caramel apple slices. To begin, I have 4 apples right here, 2 green ones and 2 red ones. You could always use more or less apples, of course, depending on how much you want to make, but as you see, I'm slicing them into smaller pieces. I'm just using my apple slicer right here. I really like it. I got it from Amazon, so I'll have it linked for you in the description box below this video, but I don't know about you, I always struggle with slicing green apples. They have such thick skin. Now that I have all of my apples sliced, I placed them on a pretty tray to serve them in, and then I poured a little bit of lemon juice over the top of the apples. This will help prevent the apples from going brown. Next, I'm going to be pouring plenty of caramel sauce over the top of the apples, followed by some of this magic shell chocolate sauce, and then I placed this in the refrigerator to chill for about 10 minutes to have that chocolate sauce harden on the top. But here's what they look like. My chocolate sauce wasn't quite hard at this point, but this recipe is amazing. You can make this for parties very easily. You could have kids make this with you, and it is just the perfect fall treat to enjoy. At this time of year, pumpkin chocolate chip cookies are a must, so I'm going to be showing you my favorite shortcut recipe for pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. To begin, to this big bowl, I added a 15-ounce can of 100% pure pumpkin puree. Next, I added in 1 box of yellow cake mix, or you could use spice cake mix. Then I added in a teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and I gave this a really good whisk. Well, now it's time for my favorite part, the chocolate chips. I just added in 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You could always add more or less chocolate chips in, depending on your preference. But after I gave that a stir to work those chocolate chips in, I pulled out my cookie tray. I sprayed it with nonstick spray. Then I placed scoops of the dough on my cookie tray. This baked in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 13 to 15 minutes, or until they're set. I was just so mad at myself because after these chocolate chip cookies were out of the oven, I took a nice, beautiful video of them, but of course, somehow I lost that video. So here's some pictures of them. They were nice and fluffy on the inside. The outside was a little bit crispy, and they really do taste like you spent hours and hours trying to make them. I've been seeing these viral cinnamon rolls all over the internet and I have been dying to give them a try, so here we go. To my 3 tablespoons of melted butter, I added in 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I gave this a really good whisk to combine the brown sugar and the butter together. Then I set this to the side. I pulled out my 8x8 baking dish. I sprayed it with nonstick spray. Then I added my 1 can of cinnamon rolls right in there. I do suggest you using an 8x8 baking dish, not a pie dish, because if you use a pie dish, they might spill over in the oven, just to let you know. But supposedly this recipe is supposed to taste like homemade cinnamon rolls, just kind of like we're amping up canned cinnamon rolls in a way. But now over the top of the cinnamon rolls, I am pouring that brown sugar mixture that we made up, and then I kind of spread it out evenly. And then over the top of the brown sugar, we are going to be pouring about 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. It might seem weird, but just trust the process. Cover the top with aluminum foil and bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then bake it uncovered for an additional 5 to 10 minutes. Once out of the oven, I poured the icing that came in the cinnamon roll can over the top, and then I served this up. Like I said, after seeing this recipe all over the internet, I had been really wanting to give it a try, and I'm so glad that I did. I could still tell that these are canned cinnamon rolls, but they definitely taste way better than your typical canned cinnamon rolls. They do taste slightly homemade, and I really do think you should give this recipe a shot. You won't be disappointed. These pumpkin chocolate chip cookies are the cutest cookies to bring to your friends or your neighbors. So to begin, you will need some chocolate chip cookie dough. I'm using pre-made cookie dough to make everything easy, but you could make your own cookie dough very easily. So I'm just flattening out that chocolate chip cookie dough a little bit, just like this. Then I placed it on my cookie tray lined with parchment paper. Now that I have all of my chocolate chip cookie dough on my cookie tray, I am going to be adding one of these pumpkin-shaped sugar cookies over the top of each of the chocolate chip cookies. If you can't find the pumpkin-shaped ones, you could always use any type of Halloween-themed sugar cookies at your store, and just place them on top. You don't want to press the sugar cookies down too much, or the pumpkin shape will look weird at the end. This baked in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 12 to 13 minutes. These cookies are so darling. They're really festive and fun. They're also easy to throw together. And of course, they are delicious. You could make these for any holiday, like Christmas. You could use the Christmas-themed sugar cookies on top. They really are the perfect treat. I hope you found a recipe for yourself today, and I would really love to have you here, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.